Sitting at the intersection of time, space, reality, and fiction floats the yellow eye. Always watching, never blinking. Its gaze has witnessed all that has happened before and knows what is yet to come. Countless stories of hope, hate, heroics, and heartbreak. It has no mouth by which to speak these lessons, so it calls upon its head clearer to tell these stories, by word and by deed. Heed the yellow eye's lessons as it gazes upon its servant, just as the eyeball gazes upon you. Our story has already begun.
Hello, my children, and welcome in. We're finally back with some D&D. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. No, it's been like a month since we've been able to play some Dungeons and Dragons. So I am happy and excited, and I feel filled with joy and love for all of the folks at home. And I realize I just left my water glass. I'll be right back. Yay, I have water, which is the important. You saw it? No, you didn't. So anyway, we are back. So I'm gonna get everything started. We're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna we're gonna explain.
Love you.
Oh, thank you. That was nice of you.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. We're not going to spend too much time dicking around because it's been a little while. Where we left off, essentially, you were in a battle. Zig had found himself surrounded by a bunch of swarms of centipedes that scared him enough that when he finally got away from them, he went running, and he is way far north of all of you. Up until this point, you had been exploring the dungeon of this castle, kind of in the middle of the Mere of Dead Men. You have a companion with you, a lizard folk, who is one of the many factions that are currently residing in this castle. Because of how well that you took care of him and his group whenever you first kind of came in contact with them, he saw perhaps that you would be able to break the political stalemate that is essentially happening in this castle. And so he's acting essentially as your liaison, and you know, since he kind of knows the lay of the land a little bit, he wants you to get in touch with some of the other lizard folk in the tribe in order to try to make them realize that maybe you're going to be able to swing things in their favor. Outside of them, there's also just a ton of these frog-like humanoids called bullywugs that have a shaman magic user of some sort. The specifics kind of elude Snapjaw, your companion, but essentially you know that there is this a self-proclaimed bullywug king somewhere in this area that is kind of in charge of all the bullywugs. And in addition to all that, there is also the cult of the dragon as well here. You've already come into contact with quite a few of the members of the cult, and you seem to have found, where a lot of the treasure has been amassing, essentially, since you've been following it from its beginning to end. And now it's led you here to this castle. So that's kind of the synopsis of where we were, and where we're getting to up to this point. I know there was a lot going on, and we haven't been able to reconvene for quite some time. So I wanted to make sure that at least the high points were touched upon. And now that that's happened, I see somebody is already starting to explore. So Zig, are you still running for your life right now?
Zig can't remember.
Okay.
I think that's exactly what's going on. Hey Zig, I'll use booming voice. Not trying to yell too loud. Zig, my man, where you going? Come back.
Yeah, it definitely echoes in that cave that you're in, that natural cave that you're kind of in and spending time in and around and what have you. So, one of the things that you notice as you get a little closer down their tack is there is a cavern of some sorts, kind of leading kind of southward. Matter of fact, let me get rid of all these swarms because we don't need them all on the map. If you decide they're there, so if you want to risk it and go back there or whatever, we can deal with that. But at least
risk it for the biscuit.
That they are not. So let's get rid of them. So they're not.
Don't tell Zig there's a biscuit in there. If he's hungry, he'll go back.
That's not untrue. Yeah. So, whoops. I didn't mean to grab you. Let me put you back to where you were. So, yeah, as you kind of come down and you look through this area, you can see it's kind of a straight shot. Matter of fact, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, you can see all the way to the wall here. It looks like it kind of just opens up into this cavern, and it kind of just ends at some water, like a pool, essentially, at the very, very end of this area. I just saw that stealth check.
Sneaky.
Are you?
I'm getting sneaky.
Gotcha. Matter of fact, let me clear all the other ones so we actually see what's actually part of the game now. Yeah, so as you kind of start moving down, it's pretty quiet down in here. Essentially, there's... All right, you move down that way. Can you go ahead and give me a... Actually, never mind. Let me just clear this out. So as you kind of come down, you can see the entirety of this pool. You do notice that swimming around in it, you can see some fairly large things. Hard to tell quite exactly, but there's definitely something swimming around down in here. So that's a thing that's happening, and yeah.
It goes down from where I am?
Yeah, it leads, so essentially it kind of drops off into this pool about 5 feet in front of you.
And visually, can I tell how deep it is?
Not
Can I see a bottom?
you can see the bottom nearby you, but then it fades into kind of a murky darkness that you can't quite penetrate. As light is there's basically nothing that you can't really see the bottom from here, essentially.
Okay, I'm going back here.
Okay.
And I'll just tell my brother that there's stuff in there. I don't know what it is, but it was big and swimming. So we can let the others go down there.
I'm still worried about where Zig's
Don't
running
tell
off
them.
to. Zig!
What's Zig still moving?
Ah, crap.
All right, so Zig, as you kind of go up that direction, you can catch a glimpse of the stairway, leading upwards that you kind of just run by.
Is it still foggy up there?
Yes. Well, Zig sees that, you don't.
Right.
I'm gonna start making I'm gonna start going towards where Zig's at.
Okay.
Figure probably made it that far in the time he made it around that corner.
Yeah, what's everybody else doing?
Guess I'll tell these other two, because the other two took off.
Okay.
Everybody around me now knows that
There's pretty much nothing down there.
there's swimmy somethings.
Yeah.
Probably no point in killing them.
I think we should all find Zig and get back into our group.
Just wait until we hear the scream, and then we know where to go.
I'll send out Hooter just a little bit ahead of me, see if he can't catch up to Zig faster than I can.
Okay. Hooter has a fly speed of 60 feet. Yeah, so he is definitely going to have an easier time catching up with Zig, since he can fly 120 feet per round. So he'll definitely be able to catch up within the next turn.
What was in this room again?
The room that's up there, essentially it was completely filled. Not completely filled, but essentially there was this mist, which was, 2 to 3 foot deep, and kind of filling up this entire room.
And there was nothing in there. It's just an empty room.
Yeah, you didn't see anything.
Was there anything on the floor?
Nobody saw anything.
As Hooter comes up to Zig in the next round, he's gonna come up about chest high to this half-orc and just glare at him best he can, beating his wings into the fog, just almost amused by it, really. Kind of like the furling of the fog with every wing beat and all that. Really just playing with the effect.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, the owl's wings... Owls are notoriously stealthy flyers, so they don't actually create a ton of wind turbulence.
Nice.
And so it doesn't kind of switch the mist around all that much.
What's wrong with Cat?
Is your cat stuck in your bag?
Hey, you can't speak to me yet, can you?
Yeah, you can't see
where
even where he is. You're following him. Is everybody else kind of moving up that way too?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So you all start heading up that direction. But yeah, Zig, you don't see anything in the world. In the world, you don't see anything in the room, other than the 2 to 3 feet of fog. It's kind of waist high on you, maybe a little bit below waist high. As you start walking your way all the way to the back, however, your disturbance of you walking through has kind of shifted around, and you notice that there seems to be some sort of carving on the floor.
Any? Oh, Zig, I don't think Zig can read. Any pictures?
Not from the little bit that you've seen. It just looks like there's a couple of lines dug in to the ground. All right, and while you're kind of looking at this thing that you just saw on the floor, let's see here. You looking down there or looking up?
Yep.
Okay. As you look up there, 5, 10, it's 15, 30. It's hard to see a lot because how the steps kind of move upward here. But you can make out the first little bit of this essentially here. And there's not much that you can really see up that way. It looks like it's more cave, essentially.
As I approach Zig, I put my hand on his shoulder. Are you okay, my dude? That seemed to have bit you really hard.
I check for traps on the stairs.
What's centipede?
That bug that bit you in the last room that set you running this way.
Zig don't remember that. What's this on the floor? And Zig will tap it with a stick. And shows Aza whatever's on the floor. What's this?
I step forward and I give it a good old look to see if I can recognize it.
So you have to, the mist constantly fills in that area. So you have to kind of keep waving your hand to kind of push it out of the way to keep to have basically a good view of it. And there's not a lot. It looks to be part of something larger. Just the little bit on the floor, it seems to be part of a much larger thing.
I instruct Hooter to stand next to me and just start flapping his wings to see if he can't like push air and give us a more grand view of the floor.
Okay. He tries his hardest, and he's doing a good job kind of clearing some of it, but the mist kind of refills very quickly in this area. And it doesn't take long for it to kind of fill back in as he blows it away. However, it does seem to be a carved circle on the floor.
In relation to this carved circle on the floor, where would we be standing next to it? Or where are we standing near it? On it? Next to it? In it?
You're actually partially in it, where you are now.
Huh. I'm gonna back up just to the outside of this circle.
Okay.
Just sacred flames on the top of it. Just poof. See what happens.
Nothing.
Damn it.
Also, well, let me do this.
I'll call over to Snapjaw. Hey, Snapjaw, can we borrow you up here for a minute, my dude?
Oh yeah, he was following you. I don't know why I didn't move him, but I didn't. Oh, somebody already moved him. Never mind. Snapjaw moves forward. Kind of comes up to you.
I kind of point and try to clear it using the Hooter again to try to clear some of the mist. Do you happen to know what this is? Or what it's part of?
Snapjaw already say, not down here much. Don't know.
I'll turn to Zig, shrug, and I have no idea what this is, but I suspect it's a trap and might hurt us if we venture too far into it. We should probably go see what the kobolds are up to. Probably
and while all that was going on and they were searching, what's Tack and Tick doing?
Going upstairs.
Going upstairs? Okay. Yeah, so while you were in there...
Traps, too.
Checking for traps. Yeah, I saw that. You haven't seen any. There's nothing that stuck out as any kind of trap mechanism or anything like that.
Okay.
But okay, here we go.
And I'll just sneak up there with him.
Okay, so as you guys move upwards, as you climb up through the area and all that, there is... You're starting to hear some noises, essentially, coming from up there. Croaks, and a familiar kind of tongue. That you've definitely heard before. As you climb the stairs a little bit as well, you're also kind of noticing that there is this, it looks to be not torchlight necessarily, but there is some sort of pale light coming from up here. And from there, you're still not going to be able to see much in there, but you can make out the top of, well, now that you went up there, you can actually see this whole room. And I just drew instead of what I wanted to do here. So as you kind of walk up, you can see this fairly decent sized room. And inside here are a bunch of bullywugs. The frog people that you've seen, all over the place and even fought a little bit down here before, they are kind of paying special attention to this room. Now, inside this room itself, kind of lining the walls and all over the place are carvings of frogs. Giant frogs, pumpkin-sized frogs. There's giant frogs carved into the floor. There's frogs. There's drawn drawings in chalk of various colors all over the walls. Just frog motif as far as the eye can see in this entire room. And in here, these bullywugs are they're kind of scurrying around in this area, looking like they're paying some sort of homage to the carvings and things on the wall. And not only that, but they're also essentially some of the carvings and whatnot they're cleaning up and as well with utmost reverence.
I'm gonna stop making my way back to the stairs I saw.
I'm gonna start stepping back slowly. My memory serves me correctly. I ended up in their mouth a few times the last time we fought these guys, and that wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If Skamos was here, he'd have a different story about that, but
Oh no.
I'm just gonna back away slowly too.
I'll wave to Zig as I pass. Come on, man. I'm starting to get worried about those kobolds.
Fine.
He's worried about us. I don't think we've started a fight.
Well, when I say worried, I mean worried about the loot and treasure.
There's no loot. There's no treasure.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm worried about here. I want my fair share, or at least part of it.
In fact, I want to go back to that room upstairs. We should go there. Hey Zig, we found the kitchen up the stairs.
Always.
Oh, it's a kitchen.
Yeah, up the stairs.
Don't trust them. All right, screw it. I'll kind of lean in. So, what did you two actually find up there?
Food.
French food.
All right. So as you walk up, not really doing any kind of being quiet at all. They all like how you're all rolling initiative already. The nearest one turns and sees you's like, Brock, no, you go away. You're not here. Not for you. And as he says that, all the other ones kind of stop what they're doing, turn around, and look ready to spring into action, which is probably a terrible pun now that I said it out loud. But
it's a great pun. Heck.
But they all ready their spears.
Ribbit. Scream from
Their lower, essentially their lower neck, bulging to make themselves look larger and more
But we're
threatening.
not in combat yet.
Nope, we're not in combat yet.
Because Stig is still wearing his shadow robes and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm. And they
Right.
told you to go away.
Where's the kitchen?
Yeah, we heard there's food up here.
There's in this inner sanctum, you kitchen in castle. Upstairs.
Oh, there's no kitchen here, Caesar.
Ah, crikey.
I did say it was upstairs.
I'll kind of just glare down at Kozask.
He didn't lie. He just didn't correct you when you assumed incorrectly.
That's right.
I said go away!
No. Why them?
Alright.
Yeah, they kind of follow. A couple of them you can see follow to the top of the stairs.
I'll kind of drag my feet as I walk down these stairs, not necessarily excited to be told what to do by a couple of croakers, as it were.
You gonna let them tell you what to do, Zazer?
If Big Man's walking away, I guess.
But Zazer in charge, right?
Zig in charge now?
Before I leave the stairs, hey Croakers, what's in the room behind you? Out of curiosity, answer this and I'll leave.
The only thing that you hear in response is a large and threatening sounding.
Oh, I thought as much. I wasn't even. I'll turn and wave, I didn't even want to know what you silly croakers were on about anyway, and I'll start making my way back towards Zig.
Okay.
To let our lizard friend know what was up there. Maybe he has any sort of insight. There was like drawings on the wall. They looked like they were worshiping crap down there.
Oh, never see before, but hear that King of Bullywug, Chief Shaman, make religions. Maybe this what that's.
Well, we'll take care of that later.
Did we see what was lighting that room?
There was various essentially clay pots on the ground that had multiple holes poked into it with some sort of light source inside, probably a fire. There was holes on the upper half, but not on the lower half, so it would seem to be some sort of just kind of multiple makeshift lanterns that weren't extremely bright by themselves, but with all of them doing these pinpoint lights, kind of giving the entire room this kind of eerie half-lit glow.
Okay, so nothing that's easy to put out. That's no fun.
Did you guys find anything in that other room?
We found a circle with we found a drawing on the floor and a big old circle. I was worried it was a trap, so I didn't necessarily go too far into it. I'm kind of liking the idea of going back up to that treasure room and seeing what kind of mischief we can get into there.
Done.
So, do you two want invisibility for this? Got a spell slot available. And I'll give them both a wicked grin.
I didn't hear it. I took off. You said treasure.
This. We speak to clan now. Plan attack, yes?
Yes, the clan does attack now. It'll give us a chance to loot this place.
Zig attack.
I'll take after we attack this way in the treasure room. You know those gods, not up those stairs, but the stairs that got us down into this pit area. We attack them and take their treasure.
No, this is not what we agreed upon.
So, see, oh good lordy.
So what are the rest of you doing?
I'm following after the brothers Kobold
That are already on their way out.
Uh-huh.
Zig is
There's
trying to
also
recall. Oh, go ahead.
Other room at the bottom that had like the muddy frogs in it next to the centipede room.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a centipede-less way to get there that we didn't explore.
You were in that room. You noticed that was the room that was directly next to it, that had those two bullywugs that you were able to see their eyes just above the mud. And it was the very next room. Based on, your own keeping track, your internal map-making tool that you have.
Yeah, because I snuck down there or you snuck down there, I think, because you were dark vision.
Yeah, he snuck down there and he saw that there was, and it's essentially the room right next to it, the room with all the centipedes in it. And it looked like it was just basically almost filled up with mud.
So I think we've pretty much seen everything down here. Unless there's something else in that painting room. and your circle on the floor.
I would almost think that those 2 rooms that we were last in have something to do with each other.
Yeah, there's something past the mud room, and there's something past the worship room by the look of it, but...
I suspect that the toads in the bottom will resolve themselves as soon as we sort out the whatever's guarding the treasure room. But we also need to sort out the Snapjaw and the arrangement and deal we have with him as well. Which I forget, what did we agree to do for him? It's been so long.
Take out the Frog King dude.
Yeah, to take out to basically start a coup in order to, because essentially the bullywugs have been bossing around the lizard folk, and essentially there are far more bullywugs than there are lizard folk, like way more. And
that's
but
right. So
but the lizard folk have been have been told about one of the cultists that have been trying to teach, in fact, you've seen some of it, trying to teach how to work metal to the lizard folk. However, they just don't seem to be catching on, and they're terrible at making blades, and you've already seen kind of a terrible, if not telling, example of them trying to work some metal things, and it looked like they were making a shovel that was really flimsy and whatnot, but apparently it was supposed to be a spear. So they're very bad at working metal. However, Snapjaw says that they have been given a bunch of weapons, and they haven't really been paying attention to how many weapons they've been giving out, essentially. And yeah.
Good.
All right. So as you head back up,
before we head back up, did
yes.
Laser just have an epiphany where we should have been fighting in that room? Or
Yeah. Memory says that I would have more than likely, if I remembered that, attack the things at the top of the stairs. I probably wouldn't have stopped you. Like,
a little late now.
Yeah, no, I know. It's way late now on that one, but if I would have remembered that, I would have more than likely, go ahead. Probably encourage the behavior and start throwing fucking blasts and shit, but we'll find more toads. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just that there's so many of them. You just got to keep in mind that unless, you rally the lizard folk to attack alongside you, you'll probably go down really quickly, because the only one who knows about this deal as far as the lizard folk go is Snapjaw. He's been trying to get you to speak with the clan for a while now.
Right.
At least one floor worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should probably have him lead us to the clan so that we can get our that whole rally going.
All right. So you're heading upstairs now, right?
About the time we hit the middle platform where Snapjaw is, I'll lean into both of the brothers. Do you guys want invisibility? Maybe you guys can loot some stuff for yous? Because I know you two are excited about getting into some kind of trouble and lining your pockets.
Yes.
All right. So his toe moves up.
I'll blow my last spell slot and turn both of the brothers invisible at where Dwarfy and Axia are.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and apply invisibility to the two of them since you're casting the spell.
All right. Let me see if I can remember how to do that.
6. I'm missing one of you. Where are you? There you are.
And what map does that put us on now?
Ground level.
Sweet, thank you.
And there are more centipede thingies in the room below us, right?
Yes,
You saw some, yes.
That's what I pulled Axia out of.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, there was food in this hole, right?
The frog legs.
Yeah, so in this room, the one to the south of you, that room was the one that essentially had all of the... That's where a lot of... There was a bunch of humanoids, cultists, yes. Essentially filling that entire room. And they were... Looks like they were sorting through treasure and putting them into smaller, more easily manageable crates. There are piles of chests all over. And treasure covering a bunch of tables and all that kind of stuff. And just to make life a little bit easier for y'all. And they're all definitely still there in this area. And you do know that you remember that there was some lizard folk training drakes in the courtyard. And that directly south on the other side of that room is the kitchen that you all walked through already.
And the person's probably going to remember us because that one dude heard us say something about treasure.
Not that they can see either of you. Both invisible.
Seeing and knowing if you're there is two different things.
Fair. Very fair.
You both have the invisibility put on you? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Excellent. Okay.
So I assume we're all going with Snapjaw wherever he's taking us, and then the kobolds are doing something else.
We see Clan now.
Yes, please. We should probably have them on our side before we get too froggy with our plan.
Oh God. I deserve that.
Roll my invisibility just to punch you in the face for that one.
For that pun.
Oh, come on.
And I'm no longer invisible. That pun.
Wait. Hold on. Would that be... Yeah, would that be then considered an attack roll?
Yeah.
If I actually punched you, yeah.
Yeah, crap, I'm out of spell slots, never mind.
Alright. So yeah, he's just basically, you're being watched. He exits out the door. You're being watched. Your time down there, took a little bit of time. And it's starting to kind of move closer into evening and whatnot. And there seems to be, some people kind of rolling in and out, picking up some food and whatnot, and sitting down to eat, in addition to the ones working. Yeah, so Snapjaw just continues his way, essentially down the palisade, or down to the causeway, and then from the causeway back out the front gate, across the tables and planks that have been laid across the mud, and then back out to the main area here. Just all the movements. While everybody's moving outside, that's going to be 2 or 3. That's going to be about 18 seconds. What are you kids doing up there?
I want to stay close to people I see and pocket things that are shiny and worth as much money as possible.
Okay.
My hopes is if it disappears and someone's standing next to it and I'm invisible, it's not me that gets in trouble.
Gotcha. So a lot of them just seem to be kind of organizing precious items such as like candelabras and tableware, silverware, and goldware are being wrapped up essentially and placed into crates. There's piles of coins kind of being sorted and thrown into these crates. There's just a lot of activity. It's essentially it's a treasure gets dumped on table, it gets sorted and placed into boxes, and then some of the crates are stacked up in the corner. You can see that there's one or two extra ones that weren't there when you first came through this room. So it looks like they're just filling them up and stacking them in the corner for some purpose or another.
So pretty much I just want to walk through here, go out the door they went out eventually, and as I'm walking, grab whatever I can grab.
All right. So I see.
Not kitchenware. I'm not interested.
So just as much coins.
Coin, gems.
Okay,
jewelry.
So gotcha. All right. What about?
I'll be less ballsy about it, and all this. If something looks like it's kind of being ignored or left out, like the person's gone to eat, nobody's around. It looks like I get a good just grab. Then I'll grab it.
Okay. All right. So how are you walking through? How are you doing this?
Well, I could pass between people, right? Like between these two guys here.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. I'll just snake my way, kind of like so.
I got you. All right, and then, basically grabbing what you can off of the edges of the table and all that. Cool.
I have two hands.
Yep. Gotcha. And I saw you rolled your sleight of hand, Tick, and you're kind of doing the same thing. So if you can give me a sleight of hand as well. There we go. So walking through, you're. Let's see here. Interesting. Okay, so 1 second here. And so as you're kind of walking through, the majority of the time people are kind of oblivious to you. However, as you walk by one of the dragon claws, they kind of turn and look behind them in your general direction as if they heard something. And is kind of interested on the noise that he heard behind him. It may have been a squeak of the floor or something like that, but he's looking essentially directly at you, Tick. But he doesn't know that yet. He just knows that he heard something behind him, and he's looking your direction.
I just kind of freeze. Is there anything else around me?
No, it's the wall, the table that the guy is right next to, and that's it.
Yeah, then I'll just kind of freeze.
Okay. Give me a hide check. Stealth. Uh-oh. Okay. EE looks and pulls out his sword and really quickly just kind of takes a swing at the empty space in front of him. And while he does this, like, everyone else looks, essentially, as he does this, and that will be a... So he swings his sword and swings it, and just barely the blade flies by you and misses, and hits absolutely nothing at all. And he kind of looks and kind of shakes his head and is like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I swore I heard something, and I was just making sure nobody was using magic behind me." And he just kind of stares at the area a little bit and resheathes his blade. You could tell he's still not relaxed in any way, shape, or form at all.
When he turns around, I'm going to stick my tongue out at him, and then I'm going to, leave or...
So
I'm
the door that's right
door's
next to
kinda
you is
open.
closed. It was closed behind you. Or behind the other group that left.
Are people still coming in and out to eat, or?
They seem to be coming through that southern door.
Ah.
All right. Tech, go ahead and give me... No. As you move down, Tech, let's see. Does anybody hear you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody else seems to kind of be paying attention to them, and perhaps maybe a little more alert. So people seem to be looking around and paying a little bit of attention more. There's a couple of times where you catch yourself almost stepping on a squeaky board, but suddenly, being able to adjust your weight enough to move past them without seemingly to alert anybody else. What about you, Tick? What you doing?
Yeah, I guess I'll just keep on going down too, because...
So just as a reminder, just because it's been a while, remember that invisibility is a mind-affecting illusion. So you're still there. You still cast shadows. You still make noise and all that other kind of stuff. You just can't be seen. So keep that in mind. That you still should, or you still, while it makes you harder to hit for sure, as you could tell, it definitely doesn't make you 100% unable to be detected.
So basically, if the dude's still staring at that square, you don't do anything for a moment.
He's stopped kind of paying attention, but he seems a little more alert, as it were.
Yeah, I won't steal anything anymore. If
Okay.
there's even anything left over here, I'll just, nope on out of there as quietly as possible.
All right, so give me another stealth check as you start to move away. Okay.
Nervous tooted.
Yeah, so you kind of start to move away again, and dude turns around again and looks at that area, quickly draws out his sword and swings at the same area that you were just standing in, hitting nothing, because you weren't there. But he's just kind of like, there might be someone using magic here. Everyone be on your guard. And he says it loud enough that both of you heard it. Are you going to keep moving, Tick? What about Tack? What are you doing?
How long does invisibility last?
An hour.
I'm gonna get into the room.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to kind of stand here avoid people if they, try and come to me.
Move in that direction. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here as, less
Is there anyone in this room that I'm in now?
So yeah, it looks like there's the cook and a couple of helpers in there. On occasion, the door to this room is actually open a little bit because this room is pretty hot and sweltering. So the door is open enough that you'll be able to kind of squeeze through without disturbing the door.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
And can I make myself uninvis if nobody's around?
No.
So, like, if I punch the dirt, will that make me uninvis?
So, if you attack a creature, yes. If you attack an inanimate object or manipulate an inanimate object or pick up and throw an inanimate object, unless you're throwing it at someone, no.
What if you attack yourself?
Just punch yourself in the face. I'm trying to make it just... I'm kicking my own ass. Do you mind? So... Yeah, there's really no way for you to undo yourself. Unless you yourself are the one concentrating on the spell. But right now, Zazer is the one concentrating on the spell.
Is there anyone around me right now? If I cast
there's
a spell that would work, correct?
So there are some of the lizard folk that and bullywugs that are in this area, and a couple of guard drakes that that are basically being trained. And the bullywugs seem to be making fun of the language that the lizard folk are using to train the drakes. And basically being useless.
Anything up here where I'm at? It looks like some bushes or something.
Yeah, there's some overgrown bushes and things. Oh, I should show everybody else. There's some overgrown bushes and some things that you can kind of easily get in and be out of sight of pretty much everybody in the Outer Ward. So the rest of you, while all this is going on, you are led into the biggest of these huts or these longhouses. You're kind of led up into this larger house, and as you walk in here, it's actually almost like night and day from the swamp. You can tell that the lizard folk are very well suited to living in these swampy type environments. On the floor is a bunch of wood chips and fronds, and that create this nice thick and dry upper layer that covers the mud from the outside. The tent is sturdy even when the wind blows. There's not really any. You can see slight vibrations, but there's no big flapping or anything like that of the outside of the longhouse. The inside is tied up. The frame itself is essentially a bunch of triangle shapes that are tied together with various types of twine, creating kind of this geodesic dome around this entire area. They're sleeping cots, which are more of just a thin layer of even more clean fronds, kind of laid out all over. But they're very organized. Their various items are actually hung up off the floor. Everything looks clean, organized, and well looked after, which is a stark contrast to the muddy mess that you basically walked in on earlier. Even the very front, there is a couple of places for the lizard folk to scrape the mud off their feet as they walk in to this place. So surprisingly just organized and clean, and it was kind of unexpected, essentially. But otherwise it's warm, it's comfortably warm and dry inside this place. And you are, as you're in there, there is already a few lizard folks that are actually up in there. It's when he brings you in, Snapjaw and Draconic basically says, they are friends, just let me bring more of clan. And he points and says, you stay. Snapjaw find more friends to talk. Is just stay. And he kind of points over to an area that has some built up places like this Snapjaw's place. You rest.
Thank you, sir. And I'll find a spot to cozy up and sprawl out at.
So, yeah, surprisingly, as you kind of plop down on the ground, this mat of sticks and leaves and fronds and all that stuff like that is surprisingly comfortable and dry, which was really strange with how moist and wet everything else is on the outside. So Snapjaw leaves. I'm gonna assume Nutdruck goes in there with you since it looks like he's having issues.
Just as I enter the tent, I whisper over to Hooter, hey, can you go spot the brothers for me? And kind of put him up into the air, helping him fly a little bit.
I mean, we're still invisible.
Yeah, so it's fine. So while that's going on, and Tech made his way out, Tick, what are you doing? You seem to have a few of their attention now. The one that's right next to you is still kind of trying to check that area that you were just in. And another one kind of moves forward a little bit towards you.
I'm still just gonna chill here as stealthily as I can, because, I mean, it's probably not a good idea to try and move.
Okay. I will say from where you are, you could easily duck underneath one of the tables if you wanted to. They're standing on either side of a table.
I was thinking about army crawling underneath one of the tables.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I probably don't even army crawl, I could probably just walk completely.
Yeah, I mean, you could duck a little bit, but yeah, you're short enough that you can squat a little bit and get underneath this table and still be pretty much mostly upright.
YOLO, I guess.
All right. So yeah, you're able to not gain any of their attention as you kind of move to the other side. They all seem to be kind of paying attention to where you were, as they kind of move forward and out of the way. It looks like that maybe at this point, you might have a little better chance at getting out of here if you choose to do so. The other one, the one Dragonclaw, is still kind of swinging his sword, and his friend who's kind of watching is like, maybe your shift's been a little too long. You want to take a break? Maybe go get some food. Like, no, I heard something. I know I heard something. Well, it's been a long day, so there's Bob. There's nothing wrong with just going to take a break. It's like I'm not crazy. I heard something. Okay, I got you, Bob. I got you. I'm just saying, if you want to take a break, none of us will look down on you about it. So what are you doing now? Well, all that's going on, Tick.
Is there like a window in front of me, or what's that?
So
opening?
yes, there is an opening, but it's about 6 feet off the ground. You would have to climb up the side of the wall to essentially try to squeeze through. It shows it a little bit bigger on the map, but you would have to try to squeeze through the opening that is letting some of the air flow through the castle.
Yeah, knowing me, I'd probably screw that up. I think I'm actually just gonna sit down here for a little bit until, you know.
Well, you still have some movement. You only moved like 20 feet. So you still have like another, you still have another 40 feet of movement. Or no, you're moving your stealth, so you're doing half speed. So you have 10 feet of movement.
I'll still stay.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go like there.
Okay.
So
your full movement out of the way.
Anybody, but
yeah.
Just stay here for a little bit while things calm down.
Yeah, they seem to be kind of just looking at that area, and a lot of them seem to be expressing their concern for this cultist named Bob. Bob the cultist. Can we cult it? Yes, we can. It's stupid. So they seem to be more concerned about his well-being than anything else right now. As a matter of fact, even the ones closest to you are kind of watching Bob.
Okay, then I'll come here.
Yep.
And then when I'm here,
yep, there is a. I was going to say there's
around the wall, look at Bob, and scream, "Bob's a freaking nut!" And then I'm just going to book it.
All right. So you yell. You see everybody kind of turn and look at the doorway as you come running out. And are you just bolting out, or how are you doing this? Because the door was open, but not like wide open.
I'll like slow down to sneak out of the door without, just
bumping into it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Did Hooter hear that by chance?
He was flying pretty high above, considering that he had to basically fly over the palisade, and he yelled that inside the building.
Oh, okay.
So
Hooter did not hear the who.
Yes. No, Hooter did not hear a who. Or that Bob's a nut. Or that Bob's your uncle. Yeah, but you're able to make it out.
Hide there and wait to see if anybody chases me down.
You're gonna wait there? Are you okay? Yeah. So, I will say that as you come barreling out of there, Tack, you do notice that there is a brief moment of a shimmer in the courtyard, and a familiar footprint that splashes into some mud that was in the courtyard, and some familiar footprint noise, or foot noises, footfall noises, as you were in that corner kind of heading southward. So you have a general idea of who that probably was.
Yeah, I followed. I don't know where exactly he is, but
yeah,
I went in the same direction.
Yep, got it.
The brother sixth sense.
Yep. Absolutely. So after, a little bit of time, you don't see anybody following. You hear a little bit of commotion up north, but it's hard to tell exactly what that commotion is. It could just be more of the jeering by the bullywugs in the courtyard.
Brother, are you here somewhere?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I told the truth. Bob's a freaking
Told
nut.
the truth.
No, I meant about your sneakiness. Did I not teach you anything?
I mean, put on a little bit of weight, okay? We're down in there a while.
I weigh
and
27
they had
pounds now.
a lot of apples, and I was stealing some of them. Just don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
So, Tick, I just want to let you know that throughout all of that, you were able to palm yourself a gold coin and a platinum coin. Tack, you were able to collect 2 silver coins, 2 gold coins, and 2 platinum coins.
Getting paid.
So, where do you think the others went?
What others? This is our show now. Nobody can see us. We could go anywhere we want right now.
As Hooter's flying around, I'm instructing him to just check for any motion, anything that seems like something may have gone awry. It's been long enough.
Yeah,
I can't believe they took off and just left us there to our own devices. That shows their craziness, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
I'm just hoping at some point y'all's bags get so weighed down that there's loot for the rest of us. So if I can help the process along.
He has a bag of holding. Good luck with that.
Yes.
Trust me. I'm a warlock. There's gonna be lots of invisibility for you guys. You just gotta ask. Want you guys to get paid. Sounds like a great time.
Okay. The owl really doesn't see much of anything.
I don't know. I'd hesitate to take that spell off. Give him the full hour.
Okay.
I'll just cozy up and try not to nod off in that time.
All right. Yeah, no problem. You're there. You're definitely there for quite some time. So, what are the brothers doing?
Should I roll for not passing out?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I'm guessing by talking we can find each other relatively easy.
Yeah. You're between both of you, kind of talking to each other. You get a general idea of where each other are, and once you kind of get close enough, you can reach out and eventually make physical contact with each other.
Is there anybody around us right now?
No, not where you are presently.
Okay, I'm slapping my brother.
All right, so you just slap the crap out of him, and the invisibility.
That's for not being stealthy.
The invisibility ends.
I fully expect to be slapped back.
Does it end my invisibility too?
Actually, hold on. Let me roll. Do me a favor. Roll since you're. So how are you slapping him?
Well, I can't see anything, so I'm just reaching out and slapping where I hit him. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I was gonna say, because if you're like feeling him up, which nope. If you kind of feel up where you find his face and then smacking him.
A.M.o.K.
Yeah. That's fine. That'll get you where you want to be.
That is what we do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, after smacking him, the invisibility definitely falls off of you.
Ow! Why'd you do that? I thought you wanted to be invisible, Phil.
You're a freaking idiot. We need to find the others or we're gonna end up dead. Or they're gonna end up dead.
Why can't we just be invisible and hide them? They don't need to know where we are.
Something will happen. It always does.
He says something is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm staying invisible for it.
All right, so what are y'all doing?
Still searching for both the brothers at this point.
Where did Slackjaw go to get his?
He's been gone from the tent. So they don't know, and you haven't even been in the tent, so you don't even know.
Yeah, but did he come to the forge yet? Is what I'm asking. Since people were.
No,
over
he
there.
has not come by the forge.
Besides, if you uninvis in the wrong place, that's gonna not be good either. Never know when that horny dude is going to drop it.
Horny dude.
Fair
Not
enough,
wrong.
but still, I have a plan. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
How dark is it outside?
Hoot hoot.
What's that?
How dark is it outside? Like nighttime now?
It's starting to get towards like the sun is just now starting to set. It's starting to do that slight change in tone from gray to slightly more gray. Since you're kind of out in the swamp.
Then you stay close if you're staying invisible so I know where you are.
Aye, Captain.
Should probably go back out because I think that's where all those lizard people are. We go in this other room here where they made the shovel / spear. We could ask those guys.
Up to you.
Let's go ask them where they would have met. Because Snapjaw was taking them somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk in and they're still kind of haphazardly trying to make metal weapons. You know, some are just hammering at metal that doesn't even seem like it's been heated up. Others are just hammering at metal and just flattening it for some unknown purpose. Some are just heating up metal. It's just red hot, and it eventually kind of melts and falls into the forge itself.
This hurts my blacksmith soul. As a person, not the character.
Yeah, I know. Because I know you're a blacksmith, so I'm trying to be as incompetent as possible to make it really hurt you as a person.
That's it. I knew. I knew.
See, your
All right.
visibility worn off. Oh, wait, no. You need to take damage, or you need to give damage, or do an attack.
Yeah, you have to do some sort of attack.
Now I'm curious.
So
Has Hoover actually seen?
Yeah,
the
so
visible brother yet?
he's able to spot the one as they walked into the forge, and he does let you know about that one of the kobolds has been seen.
And has he reported back? Is there anything strange happening, or is it just one brother kind of walking around?
Just the one brother that kind of went into another door.
Interesting. I'm gonna have Hooter go down and see if he can't catch the visible brother. Just kind of like just land on the ground and just hoo. Maybe he'll be recognized by the one brother.
Okay. So as the owl kind of lands on the ground and then starts kind of hooing at the door to the forge,
Lunch.
you hear a couple of snickers and laughter coming from a different behind Hooter. Let's see here. What is his perception? It's +3. And
would you be able to link Hooter to me again by chance?
yeah.
Not sure how to find him.
Yeah, I can do
Thank
that.
you.
Give me a second.
Take your time.
Let me do all these things.
Holy crap.
Does that mean McSandwich?
What? 1 second. Holy shit, Daisy.
Someone sub to Alan.
Thank you.
Does that mean McSandwich?
I'm not here, but bye. Holy crap. Thank you, Daisy. Jesus.
Someone sub to Alan. Does that mean McSandwich?
We're gonna wait for that to finish. Okay. That was completely unexpected. Thank you very much, Daisy. Yes, another member of the Variety Pack Stream team. Guys, follow her if you haven't.
Substation.
This is gonna take a little bit of. I'm gonna wait for all this announcements to end. I might have to come up with a shorter announcement.
Thank you for subscribing to Gooberfacts.
No, follow her because she's full of shit. Specifically for that reason.
Does that mean McSandwich?
There's so many goobers right now. Thank you, Daisy.
Thank you for
Seriously, thank you.
To Gooberfacts.
Thank you for subscribing to Gooberfacts. Yes.
Thank you for subscribing to Gooberfacts.
Yes. Is that the last one? Nope.
Ooh, a subscription. A subset. Oh, substation. Go back and say the word.
We're gonna edit all this out in post. This won't end up in the D&D upload.
Oh, substation. Go back and say the word.
And there's Bingus.
Someone sub to Alan.
So many.
Does that mean McSandwich?
It does make McSandwich. Daisy, thank you, seriously. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate you so very much. I wasn't expecting that. Now I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. So
a scrub
So for the players who don't watch my stream, somebody is spending a ridiculous amount of money subbing to my channel, and
Congratulations, dude.
I don't even know what I'm doing with myself. Seriously, thank you.
A scrub script. A subset.
It'll be awkward.
Substation.
What up, Musashi?
What's up, Dan? Daisy's making me broken and not be able to DM.
Sub to Alan. Does that mean McSandwich?
That's what Daisy's doing.
Someone sub to Alan.
Daisy's been drinking and spending money on my channel.
Hell yeah.
There we go. I think that was good. Maybe. Daisy, thank you very much. I do, but no one will know. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Daisy. Okay. What were we doing? Oh yeah, you were asking about you were landing the owl had landed in the courtyard, and then he heard some noises behind him. What kind of noises? Well, strange ones. The owl detects that a bullywug is behind them, trying to sneak up on them, and essentially doing a terrible job.
He's very twitchy, especially after what happened last time. He immediately flies back up, just on flinched twitch reaction.
Yeah. Just regular bird. Holy crap! Something's. Thank you, Daisy. Appreciate you. Just flies away. Yeah, no problem.
He remembers the pinch from being dissipated last time. Doesn't appreciate it.
Yeah, so he takes off, and it kind of surprises the crap out of the bullywug. And he go ahead. He how far is he flying away?
He shoots up probably 40, 45 feet. Probably full movement.
Okay, so just the full 120 feet because he can fly 60.
Yeah, he's gonna go as high
as
up
high
as he
and as
can.
far away as he can. Okay, cool. Yep. So he flies far enough away that the bullywug takes his spear like he's going to try to throw it, and then realizes that that it took off way too fast, and he has no chance of actually being able to hit it.
Did Hooter see this happen?
Yeah.
Having heard about this, I kind of pop up. I try to burn the image of this particular frog into my memory. I have a vendetta now.
Okay.
I instruct Hooter to come back to me at this point because I fear for his safety.
You fear for his safety, which as well you should. After a while, he does land on top of the tent. You know this because he kind of tells you. The brothers themselves, you guys basically, you go into the forge and the armory, and essentially, what are you doing now?
I was going to see if these guys know where Snapjaw would have gone, because he had mentioned meeting with the tribe or clan or whatever.
No, it's like, Snapjaw live in big tent outside gate.
Well, that was helpful.
And this one is the one that's basically just melting a hunk of metal inside the forge.
You might want to take that out and hit it with your hammer.
Oh, yes, thank. And he kind of pulls out this nub of metal, probably no bigger than maybe your fist as a kobold, and just starts just slapping it with a hammer. The metal is extremely soft, and he's just beating the dickens out of it with no real rhyme or reason on why he's doing it. It's just flattening the chunk of metal.
Make it look like this. And I pull the spear on the ground.
He looks at it, looks at his, and then he starts taking the hammer and just beating on the very end of it. And as it starts to kind of flatten compared to the rest of it, he just starts kind of rotating it upwards to kind of try to imitate the spearhead. Essentially just kind of creating this flat curve item that doesn't look like much of anything.
Doing a good job, boys. I'm getting the hell out of here.
You're a lost cause. You should stop.
Who said that? He's two voices. I only see one.
You're just not. Don't worry about it.
I'm a ventriloquist.
What is ventriloquist?
I can throw my voice, and
Hey,
I'm just
Alan,
gonna leave on
If
that.
you throw voice, and as you walk out, you can just hear, if you throw voice, how do you get it back? Like, that's the words you hear as you exit the room.
Might not be a free idiot.
I'll let him ponder. I'll let him ponder
He's
that
gonna
while they
ponder
work
that
on
for the
their
rest
metal.
of his life. Okay.
I come out of the tent and come here, Hooter, come here. And I kind of open my arms and
Hug him.
yeah, pretty much.
Hug your fluffy owl friend. Okay.
Yeah, I essentially put him in one arm like one of those small little cute puppies, one of those like itsy bitsy ones. Just you're not going outside for a little while, my friend. And I wander back in the tent.
All right, no problem. So, as you're loving on your owl, which sounds terrible, you've noticed that quite a few new arrivals have arrived to the tent. they kind of whisper in hushed tones, but those of you that speak Draconic in the tent hear them basically kind of sizing the group of you up. There's a lot of comments on how big the giantess and the half-orc are. There is the occasional mention of you understand the word that you hear tiefling every once in a while, with no real inflection or anything to it.
I can speak Draconic as well.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just saying, you're just picking up these bits and pieces. They're talking amongst themselves, kind of keeping quiet. This is just what you're picking up.
Oh, I got you. My bad.
Yeah. So they're just picking it up. They're not. You're not catching 100% of the conversation. Just that it seems like they have some doubts. That you can pick up. So as Tick and Toe, as you make your way out, you do see kind of Snapjaw walking into this big tent with two more lizard folk at his side as he walks in.
Cool. At least we know where to go now. I'm going to go running into the tent, panting, asking if they've seen my brother.
As I hear this, I simply drop concentration on my spell.
All right, yeah, so as soon as you drop concentration on your spell, the brother just suddenly appears right next to you.
It misses. That sucks. I try and punch the face for that pun earlier. I try. I really do.
You were so close. I have such low AC, too.
That's funny. All right.
It's a mark of a true pun, Brother Kobold.
With advantage, you still missed. That's what's funny about that. All right. So as you guys make it all, a lot of this tent is far more full than what it was when you first got in there, and it seems that a lot of the lizard folk that are here seem to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. None of them they're all dressed the same, so none of them seem to be dressed any more fancier than anybody else, which lends a little bit of credence to the fact that nobody is in charge. There doesn't seem to be a chief of the guild or of the clan of lizard folk. But these all do seem to be capable lizard folk warriors that have been brought together within this clan or within this longhouse. And with that, we're gonna take our break. Hey, we're back. Sorry it took a little bit longer than normal. We just had a couple of issues that we had to work out. But they're all fixed. So, okay. So where we left off, essentially everyone had just made their way back into the longhouse, and now this place is kind of filled with multiple lizard folk as they've kind of been brought in and showed up kind of on their own, and Snapjaw kind of takes all of you and kind of pushes you, not but stages you essentially in the back part of the tent, away from the main group, but still where all of you are very easily kind of seen. I mean, honestly, they should put the big people in the back because that makes way more sense. Let's not put the dwarf behind the half-orc, for example. So as he kind of moves everybody around and gets you situated so you don't look like none of you know what you're doing, Snapjaw kind of stands in front of the group and says, "Brothers, it is now time to make our move. Behind me, you see the saviors. The saviors of the lizard folks. And as he says that, there's a lot of murmuring between all of them. Nothing that can be really made out, but a lot of murmuring among all the hearers. Like, you are the most trusted warriors of the clan. I have firsthand seen how these individuals have handled the bullywoogs. They are merciless against them. They shall kill them all. And with this, they get a little more. You can kind of hear some excited murmuring, where essentially a lot of that you kind of feel a glimpse of hope coming from the murmuring this time around. So I bring to you that it is time for us to fight. For too long, since the terrible Spattergoo has killed our chieftain. And with that, you can hear just some malice, some guttural growls deep from the throats of the accompanied lizard folk. These shall be able to free us from them. And perhaps even the tyranny that this cult of dragon has allowed them to subjugate us. And with this, there's kind of a mixed reaction. Some people are kind of whispering. Some folks are kind of like talking to each other like they're not entirely sure if this is the right course of action. It kind of almost seems like he's kind of going the wrong direction right now with his little speech. I have gathered you all here to discuss when this attack shall take place. I do not know the reason they are here, but I do know they are no friends of the bullywugs. They are no friends of the guild. And as he says that, what almost picks up is like, the guild has done nothing but give us weapons and try to teach us to work with metals. Why would we work against them?
I briefly look up from Petting Hooter. They would arm you to attack the civilians that we're protecting. We're actually hunting the cult of the dragon for several wrongdoings that they've done most recently.
But these wrongdoings do not affect us. We do not care for these that you say they attacked. This is our swamp. We only care for killing the bullywugs and driving them away.
If it's your swamp, why are they in charge?
There is more of them. When we learned that things were as they were, we did not bring the rest of the clan. Many of the elderly and the women and children have been left in our ancestral home. However, if we were to help, what guarantee that you have that we will come out on top.
Well, you see this big guy here in the back that kind of smells funny, looks ugly?
And I'm assuming you're pointing to Zig?
Zig, yes. He once killed one of those snake people by shoving an apple in its mouth.
You want one?
And he offers an apple.
Great idea, Zig.
And then he offers an apple to somebody. Okay.
I rummage through my bag and pull out one of my apples and just start nomming on it. Great idea, man. I mean,
snake people. You speak of Yuan-Ti. Yes, yes. And as Yuan-Ti gets brought up, it's like, yes, Snapjaw sees this. And then he lapses out of his pigeon common into Draconic. It's like, these may very well be our only entry. We must work with them to determine our next steps when the attack shall take place. And one of the warriors in the tent says, why would you help us? What is your purpose?
Dolphin?
Scars for the treasure. I mean,
Mostly-
we're gonna kill him anyway, might as well help you guys out.
right? We like getting paid. And I currently have a vendetta against one of these frogs. They tried to kill Hooter, and then I start scritching Hooter a little bit more and being more attentive to him. No one tries to kill my familia.
I'm gonna chuckle a little at that.
So it is vengeance that you seek.
Zig get 100.
Yes, 100 vengeance. That's good.
I 100 vengeance. This must be a dry skin saying I do not understand.
That's 1. And 1. 1. And
This is
1.
gonna take forever.
I see now. What do you wish to know about this treasure? I am, as they say, courier, pack-a-mule.
Ooh. I'm looking for gems. Big ones. The bigger the better.
We do not know what they have in the crates. We only bring them to the circle.
Where's that at?
It is below the castle. We stack the crates upon the circle, and then we are moved away. Then we stack more crates, and there are no more crates in the circle. They are gone.
Zazer looks up and a bit of a surprise snaps his finger. Zig, I just figured out what that circle does. That thing is a teleporter. I knew it. We may or may I didn't know shit.
That's why I laughed, because like you knew nothing.
We may or may not have discovered that circle by accident prior to this little meeting. Mostly
Zig still doesn't know.
Yeah. Doesn't know squat. I was wondering what that did. But derp. So, how did you guys send things through? Could you send living creatures? Could you send us?
Send through what?
That circle. Like you send crates. Or do you just stack crates and they disappear themselves?
We
Like magic.
stack crates, and when we go to get more, we come back, crates are gone.
Interesting. Well, I'm starting to wonder if that thing actually has a magical property. I'm just jumping to conclusions.
See, we know that the leader is there for these shipments.
A Bollywog leader?
No, not the terrible shaman, but the elf that help us.
Does this elf have purple robes?
Yes, he is one of the purple robe wearers.
Oh, I want those robes. I want those robes so badly. I want to kill him. We'll hunt him down. We're gonna need a coordinated attack. We fought two others of purple wearing robes. One was a dragon kin, I believe is what we'd call them. A blue dragon that darn near ate my friend Zig back here, but I'm sure that Zig is still stained partially with his blood.
They like a pretty guy. You probably shouldn't say that you want to kill him right in front of their faces. Like an idiot.
Well, I'm talking about the purple robe wear.
Yeah, they like it. They're his friend.
Oh.
They're gonna help us with that. That's all us.
Oh.
Later. Maybe. But, you know, bullywugs.
I will kill them on the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure those purple robes are commanding those bullywogs. It's a win-win situation for everybody in this room. But I recommend a nap for everybody, and middle of the night ambush. Thoughts? Because the enemy seems to have been working really hard to package all those goods and are potentially tired in the middle of the night.
What's thoughts?
I didn't.
What kind of assurances do we get that we help with the Bollywog situation and you guys aren't going to just turn around and try to take us out?
So how are you saying that are in common?
No, I'll say it in Draconic because I speak their language.
Okay. We are clan of honor. Even Dryskin show gifts to us. The purple robe give us weapon. We have metal weapons now to use against Bullywug. Just not know when best time. We care not for Dryskin squabble. Only care of killing Bullywug.
That's fine. We were going to need help dealing with the masses anyway. There are a lot of frogs. So we would appreciate the help dealing with them. But they will be dealt with.
So we need to figure out when the best time to coordinate this is.
After at least a short rest, and potentially in the middle of the night is my recommendation.
Yeah, but is there some sort of like meeting that the Bollywogs would have so they're all in one place and they could be surrounded and taken out? Is there some other sort of festivity that might happen? Because right now they're all spread out.
I think potentially we just need to find their king, and I think if there's a big enough harumph with him or her, it would draw plenty to it.
I mean, we still have yet to see the shaman.
I would almost think that we passed by the shaman. It's a shaman, so it's probably praying past the room full of bullywog with those urns full of dimly lit fire. That's probably what was in that other room, or at least that's what I would think. So I think
But
that's
there's other levels in this castle, and we're not sure what else is there either.
true.
If this guy's well guarded, which he might be because he's kind of a big deal.
Maybe we take a day or so to do a little bit more exploring. Maybe in the morning when I have more spell slots available, we try that whole invis thing again, just simply to get somebody to explore this place and report back.
And since there's more lizard people in here, where would the shaman dude hang out right now?
Do not know. We see him sometimes, but stays protected. We do not see all times. Do not know where he goes.
But somewhere in the castle, maybe. There's still a few gray areas we haven't even looked at yet, so I'm guessing this castle has an upstairs.
Yeah, so based on the size of the rooms and things that you have already been in, there is at least one more level, and likely based on some of the heights of the towers and things like that, there might even be another level on top of that.
Maybe we should take the day and explore this place before we jump to any half-cocked plan that we would more than likely come up with.
Every one of your plans has been half-cocked. Sorry. It's true.
You're not wrong though.
It's true though.
Try to do better. So, adventurers.
So, Zazer, you're kind of shaman-esque. Where would you hide yourself if you lived in a castle? We'll start there, because we know you'd hide.
If I were to hide in this castle, I would more than likely be somewhere between the second and third level. And if I was on the third level, I would have an ability to be on ground level quickly. Probably some fancy spell or potentially hold person or monster or something like that. So, well, actually, if I'm not on the top floor, I would be past a big old fat stack of praying toads that I have already insulted called croakers. So, I would almost think that we've already passed them. Like, oh, you know what? Actually, I would be past all those croakers because guess where I'm always at? I'm behind Zig. So, yeah, he's behind all those guys downstairs. Because
yeah.
Because that's where I would be. So I suspect that we may have already passed the shaman, and they're praying downstairs in the lower level past the treasure room.
So, do you wish to wait for attack?
Personally, I would like a nap at least because I would like to be able to cast more magic before doing anything potentially stupid, especially with another caster. But that's just me personally. If you guys want to go in and start swinging, I'm fine either way.
Well, the froggies are going to be pissed because we killed a bunch of them downstairs, so they're probably going to be pissed and wonder about that. But we should probably, just sleep through the night. They'll find out in the morning, and then they'll do something, and we'll just kill them. No big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Where do the majority of the frogs hang out? Are they in those huts that are to the north of us?
Yes, they sleep there.
Are they flammable?
Everything in swamp is wet.
So
Burning
that's a fat no.
does not always work here.
What about force magic? Things can get knocked down pretty readily, right? I kind of start sparking up some eldritch energy in my fingers.
Unknown. If as constructed,
And he kind of points as to the longhouse, the intertwined branches that are all tied together that make up this longhouse.
is sturdy. We do not go there. Do not know.
I look at the supports and kind of tap on them with my hand. Maybe force magic isn't exactly the best thing for this.
We should check out more of the castle. We should wait on attacking until we figure out a better plan. We've already taken out some frogs. What did we take out? Like 6 or 7 of them?
You did take out a few frogs and a few bullywugs, yes, downstairs.
Yeah.
So do we know, Snapjaw, do we know how many of your people we will have to help attack? Do you
For
have a count?
us, we never do the numbers. Hello, but warriors, we have quite many. Not as
Okay.
many as Bullywug. However,
Strong warrior. And he kind of just takes his fist and just to his chest.
much stronger than Bullywug.
Should we send Zig out to count?
Hours later.
3
What?
hours
What?
later.
Blood.
Speaking of Zig, is there someone in the party that's smart enough to know we've left a bunch of Bollywood corpses downstairs and they're going to find them?
That's what Zig, our brother, was just saying. That
Yeah.
we left a bunch of stuff. They'll find them in the morning.
And they won't be happy.
Nobody knows what happened.
They probably won't be happy. You can't really say, but
will they put it together? But
you never know.
And they've seen us down there.
yeah. But the question is, were any of them smart enough to follow us into this tent, or they've just figured it out that maybe something's going on?
But they just have to go upstairs and give a description. And Zig's not smart enough for this.
Yeah, neither is the rest of the team.
I'm too concerned about Hooter at this point.
So we need to find the guy we need to kill first, because we have no idea where he's at. We can't go in blind. It's just swinging at everything that moves.
Aww.
So once we locate him, we can, get the lizard folk to rally and give us some support while we take that down, and they can hold off Bollywogs. If not, we got a shaman, magic user, somebody, and who knows who else, purple robe, that's going to bring down a world of hurt, plus all the bollywogs at the same time.
Very true. I move that in the morning, somebody or a pair of somebody's catches invisibility and goes for a walk around the castle.
We can go for a walk around the castle as is, because we're kobold.
It's true. I forget these things for
Yeah,
the
so
fact that I'm a
if you
magic
don't
reader.
remember, so far your cover story has been that because a lot of you have robes and various other regalia of the dragon cult, that you have passed yourselves off as members of the cult themselves, and the kobolds have passed themselves off as liaisons for the dragon that lives in the swamp.
Is this shaman, like, vain in any way? Would he accept visitors if we wanted to see this great shaman that lived here?
Pay respects to it and all that.
Snapjaw does not know, as we not talk to them.
Maybe we need to go poke a bollywog in the eye and find out. Maybe we should just have Zig challenge the shaman to a fight like he did with that dragon.
Yeah, that worked out well for y'all.
Yeah, Zig's alive, the dragon's dead.
Right? Wait, how many sessions did it take to get there?
I think he's wearing his armor right now, too.
That's true.
I'm down, kind of hell-bent to collect as many sets of purple robes as I can at this point.
We could demand to see the people in charge and figure out what the plan is, just to find out where they're hiding themselves. We haven't seen Purple Robe do it either.
I don't think we need to demand. Again, we're cultists. We're here to join their cult and pay respects and throw money at them for the reasons of Tiamat. I mean, we can lie our
No,
batooties
the dragon
off.
in the swamp.
Oh, Dragon in the Swamp, yeah. Yeah. Damn it.
Although Tiamat would probably work because all these people are going for that, and that's who they're trying to bring back anyway.
And I would suspect the Dragon in the Swamp might have something to do with Tiamat as well. Most dragons do, I would imagine. I shouldn't even be assuming. Darn.
So we just need to get to see those people, whether we ask nicely or demand it or whatever. That might be the fastest way to get to them and figure out where they are. How quickly can the lizard folk be ready?
We have buried the weapons. It should only take a few hours to arm everyone.
And what time of day is it again?
So you're starting to move into evening. Essentially, the sun has been going down for a while. This particular conversation with all the, for lack of a better term, these various captains of the tribe, there's been some back and forth and whatnot. So because of that, it's been a good hour or two, about an hour and a half actually total that this conversation has happened. And it seems that your arrival has at least garnered some of the attention as more lizard folk has showed up as this time has gone on. They seem to be more listening to the other lizard folk that are in here, the original groups, the original individuals that have showed up since the beginning. Perhaps they're, knowing nothing about their particular how they interact with each other. It seems that they're more just interested in seeing how this all plays out as opposed to being part of the conversation.
So let's do this. We'll get rest since it's pretty much night. Then in the morning, we will demand/ask to see the people in charge, see if we can figure out where they are. The lizard folk can start making preparations, and then tomorrow evening, once we gather some intel and they unbury weapons or whatever, we can maybe plan an attack.
Okay.
Sounds like a great plan to me.
We have bided our time for this long. Another day or two would be nothing.
So how about we do this? You got your little hooter friend, Zazer. We can send him as the signal to, prep, because then we don't have to be seen all gathered in the tent again.
All right. All right, everybody. You see Hooter, my familiar here, and I kind of lean forward, pushing Hooter, who I have kind of baby-esque in
So
my
you're
arm.
pushing your hooters forward towards the lizard folk?
Darn right.
All right.
And maybe the signal is the owl circles a certain amount of times above the wherever they are all at, and they'll know to gather.
He'll circle this tent specifically, just hooting and being loud.
Okay.
Hopefully the enemy doesn't do anything to my poor bird.
So
That's okay.
And they all say, so signal for attack is owl is above tent hooting.
Yes.
How will we know that this is the right owl and not an owl?
That's a good question. How
Do
many
you see
owls?
many owls in the swamp? Probably not.
Occasionally, but not often.
We'll have Hooter carrying a torch when it's time.
We'll make it glow blue.
Ah,
They can do that.
there we go.
All right.
So, blue torch carried by owl is signal.
Or just a blue owl.
I hold up
Blue
Hooter,
owl.
and he turns blue. Blue owl.
So as soon as you create this effect, as soon as the owl actually turns and glows with his own blue light, there's a lot of gasps and whispers and just like holy shit kind of vibe coming from the group. It seems like magic really impresses them. But yeah, there's like,
They
so
like
this
you,
is
Hooter.
signal?
Yes. This is signal. You see this flying, and I'm kind of shaking Hooter at them. You see this flying above this tent. You make attack. And I kind of gently put Hooter back in my arm and start scritching him. He's still glowing blue.
Gotcha. So as you're doing that, there's a lot of whispering, and you can start hearing unbury now, bring weapons, store weapons, hide weapons, inform everyone, blue owl is time for reckoning. Those are kind of the words that you're able to pick out. It seems that the actual glowing blue owl seems to have kind of set off a chain reaction throughout this community where they seem to be almost on the we are ready to go as soon as you are. And it seems like they're putting a lot of plans in place to have the weapons essentially readily available for this particular sign.
Sounds good. Now let's go to sleep and go find the dude.
All right. So, most of the places that where are you planning on sleeping? That's the next question.
Just in this tent?
If there's no
So it
objection-
looks like this tent itself is pretty full. However, they do point out that because the entirety of the clan did not come with them, many of the tents or the longhouses on the south side are pretty much unused.
I didn't want to interrupt, but while this massive long conversation was going on, Zig's gone to the kitchen, which I believe was over here.
Okay, yeah, it's right over there. Yeah, so Zig wandered off and went to the kitchen. So in the kitchen themselves, there is a because that went on for quite some time. So plenty of time for Zig to wander off. So as you kind of walk in, there's a couple of human helpers, and there's a dwarf chef that is essentially doing the best he can. He plops some sort of stew. Who knows what kind of meat and or vegetables that are used in this particular stew. But he kind of plops it into a bowl, served up, and is kind of given to you as you walk into the kitchen area.
I feel like we've already had an interaction, but I can't remember it. Did we talk to this dwarf?
Barely. He kind of was just more concerned about getting the food ready for dinner than he was having a conversation.
Is there somewhere to sit in here? Or...
Not in the kitchen, no. It looks like all the seating is in that main hall area to the north.
So he'll take his bowl of soup and sit at one of the tables.
Okay, yeah. So there is a whole different group. I don't know if Zig would necessarily notice that it's a different group of people. It just kind of seems like there's still people in here sorting coins and other various types of things in this area. With just a few of the tables where people are eating at. It seems like you've kind of come at the end of dinner time as you've done this, as there's not a ton of people in the mess hall itself other than the ones kind of sorting.
And he'll go back for seconds and thirds if he gets time.
Okay, yeah. No problem. So the whole time, because you definitely have time for at least 3 go-rounds of food. Each time you go in there, the dwarf cook kind of eyeballs you a little more irritated than the last. It kind of almost seems like you are eating far too much than what he's prepared. The food itself is passable. And what I mean is essentially, like, you can tell it's food. You can tell it was in some way, shape, or form cooked in order to make it palatable. However, it's not necessarily the best thing you've ever ate in your life.
It's probably the best thing. Yeah, Zig ate.
It might be the best thing that Zig has ate in a while, considering he's been eating a lot of kobold and whatnot lately.
And just apples, yeah.
Yeah, and apples.
Zig loves it. He's gone back for thirds. He'll go back for another one.
So towards the end, the dwarf is kind of eyeballing you, and the last bit of this stew is kind of scraped out. Like, the 2 humans work together to lift this giant pot up and scrape the last dregs of this food into your bowl. And there's some black burnt pieces and whatnot. It definitely doesn't taste as good as what it tasted before, but it's still way better than nothing but apples that you've ate for quite some time. It's definitely got this nice charred flavor to it. Almost as if it was blackened.
Yeah, the burnt bits are the best bits.
Yeah, the burnt bits are the best bits. That's right. Nothing like burnt soup.
And he'll hunker down for the night somewhere. Is there somewhere to sleep in here?
So, I mean, not in this area. It's well lit, and it seems that 24/7 there seems to be folks in here doing their duty. In addition to that, as it kind of starts getting a little bit darker, they start bringing in a couple of the blue drakes that you've seen before in here. So there's a bunch of workers, plus there's also drakes as well.
Zig will just approach someone. Where's Zig sleep?
If you want to sleep, there is a room to the north that you can use. No one is using that one. And he kind of points to the north of the hall.
All right. Assume this room.
So as you kind of walk, as you kind of walk into that room, you do have a vague notion that you've been here before. This room itself doesn't have any beds or anything like that in it. Give me a quick intelligence check there, Zig. Which is
whoops.
Yeah. Which is what it is, but yeah, you don't remember a damn thing. You don't remember nothing. Yeah.
But he did just say sleep in this room.
Yeah,
so.
He said to say like it's north of the main hall. Yes. Yeah, so this room itself, it's kind of wet and moldy, but it's not flooded, so you could definitely lay out any kind of bedroll or anything like that, and at least have a dry night of sleep.
Have a bedroll.
All right, so for the rest of you, what do you plan on doing? Because it looks like Zig ate all the food that was left in the pot and went to sleep in a random ass room in this castle.
Good lordy.
I'll probably go down to this tent down here then, if this is the free one. And...
So that one looks to be more full. And you are directed to the ones to the next to the pin. Even further south than what you currently are.
If we're liaisons or whatever, we might be able to find a place to sleep in the castle.
So yeah, the longest tent that you guys find is completely empty. It's still as dry and well put together as the longhouse that you had originally kind of walked into with Snapjaw and the rest of them. So it's still been built. It's still very, very dry. There's still this nice layer of fronds and wood chips and everything else, keeping it nice and dry as a floor. But other than that, it is 100% completely empty.
I'm going to stay in the tent that I'm in, but I'm going to have Hooter posted up
by the door?
Like, on top of the tent itself, just keeping an eye out.
Just to keep an eye out? All right.
Yeah,
and it being a nocturnal entity, it's absolutely fine with that. Yeah, that's no problem.
I want him to alert me if he sees any of the party members, Zig, or senses any kind of danger.
Okay.
And to fly away if there's any kind of attack to him or if he feels nervous, but come back.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So, the rest of the night essentially is pretty quiet. There's no any kind of major disruption or anything like that. You do get, Zazer, you do get woken up on occasion for small game, like rats and things like that, as your familiar swoops down and grabs a hold of them and kind of gobbles them up. But nothing humanoid in danger or anything like that kind of comes across. Even you, Zig, you spend the rest of your night within the castle itself, and you even do not get woke up by anything. The night goes on with little no trace, and you all are able to essentially complete a long rest.
Woot.
Okay. That was completely accidental that I ended up in that room. So nobody actually came up the stairs to...
No.
Okay.
No, it's been really quiet.
Wow.
Surprised Laser didn't go and try and find you or notice that you left.
Or notice that you just wandered off randomly? Yeah.
I was just assuming I was mid-conversation with,
Yep.
Yeah, nobody really noticed him leave. He just kind of snuck off on his own.
He sneak. He's like 8 feet tall. He probably had to crawl out of the door.
when you have as many lizard folks being amazed by a glowing blue owl, I mean, I was just happy people were paying attention, you know?
Fair enough.
I'd say go wake up and get breakfast from the guy in the kitchen. Is he there all the time?
Who's that?
The guy in the kitchen.
So the guy in the kitchen, it seems that after a while, there's some cleaning done, and the kitchen pretty much seems. I mean, when are you going back? That's my question.
For breakfast.
Okay, yeah. So by the time that you get there in a few hours for breakfast, at least enough for a long rest, there were already individuals kind of boiling up some gruel, some porridge type cereal that basically gets kind of just plopped into everybody's bowl that walks in. Some malto meal, if you will.
Ew.
Figure that's probably a good idea. I'm gonna wander off and try and find Zig. Assuming there's a kitchen someplace, he's always hungry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to have Hooter just circling these tent areas, not glowing or anything, just keeping an eye out for the party and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, so Hooter's keeping an eye on things to give you an alert if anything comes up. You do find Zig within the confines of the Great Hall. There is quite a few individuals in here, cultists and whatnot, essentially just eating. There's still a group that are working on sorting and all that kind of stuff and creating more and more and more of these smaller crates that are easier to handle and move. But other than that, yeah, you definitely find Zig eating.
Excellent. I'm gonna go grab me some food. Not necessarily going too terribly slow, but kind of dragging my feet and just being aware of the faces, the crates, and anything that may be shiny or interesting.
Okay. So for the most part, it just kind of looks like a lot of the same that you saw the day before. A lot of coins, a lot of various types of silver and other types of ware, that forks, knives, spoons, things like that. Candelabras. It's just a lot more and more and more of the same.
I have Hooter go in and cuddle up with Axia. Just hoot. Just almost as if he's just being needy because I'm not around.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's kind of the same that you saw basically the evening below, the evening that, or the day and the evening that you had before. The main courtyard seems to have some lizard folk that are bringing some of their drakes that they're training in the main courtyard. A lot of the other drakes are still milling around within the main area that is the storage pen for them. So there's training going on, and it kind of seems like a lot of things are just going as normal. As normal.
Zig will take out his greatsword and start chopping up apples, putting in his porridge.
Okay, so you're just chopping up apples at the table
With a greatsword.
with a greatsword. You're just like slamming down two-handed. Okay.
Has this been something that Zig has done before? Or is this just kind of a new action for him? I'm just trying to figure out if I should be surprised or not.
I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing him about cutting up apples with a greatsword.
Seriously.
He just thought the porridge needed a bit of flavour.
That makes sense.
Now follow Alynn.
That makes
I know
sense.
where he going.
I'm a little shocked with it. Couldn't you have just like broken up the apples? Did you need to bring out the greatsword?
What do you mean? Use the halberd, and he'll take the halberd off his back.
Should I use the halberd?
I
Yes.
was thinking maybe you could use your hands. You're such a large creature. Those apples must fall apart. You can snap them in 2 or 3 bits. I don't. You know what? It doesn't matter. And he'll just go back to nomming on his porridge. I'm overthinking this.
He'll try it. Does it? Can he do it with his hands?
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a quick strength check, please.
I already did it.
Oh yeah, there it is, 16. Yeah, so with that, yeah, you have no problem just kind of in your hands crushing the apple. A lot of the juice and the pulp from the apple itself kind of falls into the gruel that you have been served. And it definitely gives a little bit of an apple flavor.
No, it did work.
Yeah, it worked well enough.
Thanks, Caesar.
Derp. After I finish up on my porridge, I'm just gonna go out into the courtyard and kind of wander around, see if there's anything to be seen. Watch we'll watch a little bit of that dragon training as I kind of skirt along the wall, trying to avoid any of the busyness and activity of the moving of bodies of sorts and whatnot.
Yeah. So as you spend the next few, at least an hour, essentially it's just a lot of training between the lizard folk and these drakes, and trying to get them to understand certain commands. It looks like they attach chains to collars around their neck and get them to pull on things, just to essentially kind of domesticate them in some way, shape, or form. It seems to be that they kind of use them more for manual labor than anything else. So while all that is going on, what about the rest of you who have been kind of in that tent to the south?
Once I wake up, I'll go to the main tent.
Okay.
Lizard folk.
Gotcha.
And I'll ask them if they have any arrows.
You ask him with what?
They have any arrows to spare?
So they are able to procure and give you a few arrows. Give me 1 second. They are able to essentially give you immediately 4 arrows.
Thanks.
They nod, and these arrows are definitely well made. They're not definitely the garbage arrows and garbage metallurgy that has been done by the lizard folk up to this point. They are well made arrows, so they should serve you well.
That's good. I didn't even think about that.
Well, there you go.
I want to see what's behind door number 1.
Door number 1.
I'm in the castle.
Yeah, I see you. So as you kind of open up this door, one of the first things that you kind of notice is that it seems like this is known or at least used as a chapel of some sort. What sort is really difficult to say at this point, because essentially there is a lot of old carvings and things that have been kind of obliterated behind other types of carvings and things. What seems to be the most recent is a lot of dragons and things like that. In the middle of the room, there's actually a carving made out of wood of a 5-headed dragon.
Is it large?
It's a good size. It's not necessarily like large, but it is well bigger than you. So it looks like the brothers are working together to kind of search around here. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Yep, after I got arrows, I just followed my brother around.
Gotcha. So as you, Tack, kind of look into this smaller room, there looks to be like a lot of rotted clothing, broken furniture, just tons of like different various sticks, furniture, icons, just random BS that has just kind of been tossed into this room unceremoniously. Nothing of real interest. But again, back in the main room, it in of itself it looks like it was a chapel of some sort that had been repurposed over and over and over again. But the only thing really in it right now is this statue of a 5-headed dragon that looks to be kind of larger than definitely the two of you.
What behind door number 2? I want to open this one only a little to peek in.
Okay. So as you open the door, it's not locked or anything like that. So as you open the door, essentially you end up with this view of this kind of larger room. There is a stairwell that is moving downward. But in addition to that stairwell earning downward, it kind of looks to be a few other beds and things that are in here. There are quite a bit of broken furniture in here. Various broken foot lockers and wall lockers essentially in here. All right, so as you kind of get deeper in the room, you find a few individuals that are asleep in this area. So there are a few individuals that have been 100% kind of been using this room as a place to sleep. They're not posing a threat to you right now. However, they are in this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back out.
So you're just going to exit through the other side? Yeah, so in this room there is an opening to the south side. This kind of exits right back into that same area that you saw before with the multiple use chapel. There is a door to the south side of this room.
Are there stairs going up or down?
So the stairs are going down, upward.
Okay, that's what I figured, but just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Grab Hooter and put him on my shoulder and go back up to the tent where, what's his name? Snapjar?
Yeah, Snapjaw lives in that larger tent to the very north.
I'm gonna grab Hooter and go back up there and see if there's anyone there that wants help on learning how to fight. See if I can help train up people if there's any lizard folk there that want some training.
Okay, so yeah, based on that, they all feel that they are very capable and usable warriors. The biggest issue is just getting the weapons. Like, they can't make their own. They are terrible at making their own weapons out of metal. However, they are very adept at using the weapons once they have been created. So the majority of them show you good form and are able to prove to you that the weapons themselves that they do have are very, very lethal in their hands.
Okay.
On to the next area, brother, or do you want to go upstairs?
We probably shouldn't go upstairs next to all the sleeping people. Let's go explore one of the other rooms.
Door number 3.
Okay, so as you kind of move over into this other area and you open the door, essentially at this point, this room is a very large room with another set of stairs kind of going upwards. Since you're kind of getting there early in the day, there seems to be a ton, and I mean just a ton of bullywugs in there. However, right now there seems to be kind of about 18 of them that have kind of taken over this room. They are eyeing you all suspiciously as you kind of go in there. And at one point, this room may have been like a very tidy barracks, but essentially there's no furniture or anything like else in there. The floor itself is covered with layers of linen and layers of mud, and it just you get that smell of bullywug essentially throughout this entire room.
Ugh.
Hey, did
This is
those
fast.
stairs go up?
Yes, the stairs go upwards.
Should we go up? Should we say what's upstairs? Should we send Zazer in first?
I mean, if you guys wanted, you guys could go in
If
there.
you guys
invisibly.
want to.
I just asked if it was the bathroom because it smells like one.
Yeah, it does. It does stink. Like it smells like bullywug. It smells like frog people.
Ooh.
Just gonna move over by the stairs and see.
They don't. I'm just
how
gonna
everything-
start taking a dump in the corner. See how they like it.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So as you kind of dig in this particular area, you definitely see just a ton of bullywugs. Some kind of essentially awake, others kind of in various states of slumber. There's just a lot of them. 24 just kind of sitting in here and the various stages of being knocked out.
This is good to know that there is a bunch grouped here for our friends to kill later.
So there's a ton in here. They eyeball you, like I said, they eyeballed you and they're kind of staring at you and all that kind of stuff. But they haven't made any kind of move or anything at this point.
All right, I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay. So as you kind of move upstairs from here, I gotta open this up because I don't think I have it open. Give me 1 second. You're up on level 2. Holy crap, why did I lose it? I accidentally closed it, so I had this open specifically for this reason. But now I can't find it. So give me 1 second, y'all. So yeah, as you move your way upwards, it's a stairwell that basically kind of moves you directly to the next floor up. And there we go, second floor. Yeah, so as you move up to the second floor here, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I've got the right spot here, because the issue is the way that it turns the maps. And I just got to make sure that I've got the right map open here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this is going to be on the second floor. And who is that? That's Toe and Zazer. Did you follow them?
I did.
Okay. All right. So as the two of you walk upstairs, this is going to be on the second level. And both Toe's better half. And Tick. And Tick. And finally Zazer, who is right behind them. Essentially kind of makes your way up to the second level. As you walk up there, and just so you know, this map actually is turned sideways, so let me show you.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah.
Where the stairs align, so that door would be to the north?
Yeah, that door is to the north. There is a single door that goes kind of to the north of where you are. Now, in this particular area, this one here, since you're kind of there first thing in the morning, there is a ton, and I mean an absolute ton of bullywugs in this area. Not only is there a ton of bullywugs in this area, there is one that seems to be larger and more rotund in their appearance. This particular bullywug is again more rotund, a little more interesting looking, and he seems to have more types of regalia essentially next to him. For example, an entire crocodile head that has been turned into some sort of helmet.
Brother, I think this is the guy, maybe.
Hooter starts flapping his wings kind of aggressively at Axia, almost striking her with them, just flap, 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 almost excited about something.
Okay, so while they're kind of exploring up that way, what is everybody else doing during this time?
I'm still in the tent with Snapjaw.
Okay.
Zago finishes breakfast and wonder where Zazer went.
Gotcha. All right.
Nutdrock sleeping in.
Nutdrock is sleeping in. That's fine. All right.
I don't even know where everybody went.
Yeah, the brothers kind of took off before anybody else really got awake. So it's really difficult to know where they went.
So I'll just be with Snapjaw and wait for the sign
to attack. Gotcha.
Something's going on.
Okay, no problem. So with that, we'll go back. So yeah, this room is just filled with early morning. During this early morning, there is a door to the north of you.
We should introduce ourselves. See if this is the great shaman that we've heard so many stories about.
I'm gonna have Hooter jump down on the ground in front of Axia and walk off, hooting at her and trying to get her to follow. If she doesn't follow, he will run back up, hoot, 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 and then run off and continue to do that until there's curiosity.
Okay, so she's so basically your owl is trying to get her attention to bring her to where you are.
I want her to be in front of the door that we entered to get to where we're at.
Okay.
On the outside in the courtyard area.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you're trying to just basically get her down to this bottom area before you walked upstairs. Got it. Yeah,
okay,
no
so
problem.
the owl is freaking out.
Yeah, the owl is definitely freaking out.
I'm gonna follow wherever the owl's gonna go.
Okay.
Evidently he wants me to go with him because he's freaking out about something.
Yeah, so the owl does bring you essentially from the main area and brings you down over in here. through the causeway and everything else, and brings you to this doorway. The door is closed, but basically is kind of nudging you towards that direction, which seems to be the way that it wants you to go. What
where
about...
the arrow's pointing up? He wants me to go up that way?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Hooter will then stop and do another flapping thing. You're already off. Hooter then will fly off and just go sit on Mark, the hut that he's just supposed to sit on.
Okay, so Owl's gonna make their way back out. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Let me find Axia. Where are you? Let me find Axia. Yeah, so Axia, you find yourself essentially kind of coming up. There is a bunch of kind of laying around frog people, bullywugs around the whole place, and you again see that same more portly bullywug than what you've seen in other areas.
Okay.
As she approaches, I'll kind of point at the big one and just kind of nudge her to go. Actually, no. Why am I trying to send her away? I'll just simply point at the big one and tack. Just shh, watch.
Okay. So yeah, this room itself, other than the stairs that lead downwards into the area you just came from the first floor, the only door that you see is that one that goes north.
Okay.
So while that's going on, essentially the dwarf is still sleeping in. Nobody woke him up, so he's just down there. Snapjaw's kind of basically kind of stayed back and was still asleep when everybody took off. So all that was happening. Nutdrock is still asleep. And who else are we missing? I think we have everybody else in this room at this point. Zig, what are you doing?
In the kitchen.
Yeah, Zig, you were still in the kitchen.
Zig asked the kitchen guy where Zaza went.
What do you mean, Zay? I don't know nobody named Zaza.
How do I describe Zaza? Horns.
A purplish red skin. Has an affinity for changing his eye color.
Yeah, this is why I've just walked out to this door, because I assumed Zig couldn't explain what Zaza was.
That makes 100% sense to me.
So I rolled that dice to see if I'd walk left or right, and odds were left, evens were right. So Zig's gone left, and ended up at this door.
So where are you at? Holy crap, I don't even know where you are.
There's like a rectangle bit.
He's
Oh, I see. You went all the way across the. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I see you. So you walk all the way across, and there's some double doors on the eastern side of the area here. And as you kind of open the door and look into that area, essentially, in here you see a lot of giant lizards separated into these individual stalls, like a stable, but except for some extremely giant lizards, and there is a lot of them in here. They may be essentially the Here,
And
I'll-
Zig feels a sense of pride as he knew that the big cats belonged in a stable.
So, I mean, in a little bit, yeah, you felt like these large cats, which are all over the place in here, kind of vindicates your idea that these large cats are in some way, shape, or form beasts of burden that should be stabled, yes.
But no Zazer. If Zazer's not in there, he's going to continue.
Yeah, Zazer's not in there at all. So yeah, you still don't see anything more that way. As you kind of move northward, in this particular area, there's not a whole lot going on. It's pretty quiet in here. There are a couple of quite a few of these same kind of drakes that you've seen kind of all over the place. These themselves, as you first, let me move you back here. As you kind of first enter this area, they are kind of spread out in the area and all are watching you extremely intently as you move towards this threshold.
Okay. Is anybody in here?
No, just those three drakes. Now, across the way, you do see an open door. Because we are like early morning, you actually can get a pretty decent look into the inside here. And it looks to be a tower in the northwest side where the stairway that you can kind of just see a little bit of through the doorway is leading upwards. The floor itself from where you are just seems to be straight mud.
But no Zazer. I'll roll a dice. There we go.
Go just roll it. That's an 8.
So what did I say? Odds left, even right. Okay, we're going straight up. Let's see if we can walk past these without them.
All right, so as soon as you kind of start moving your way into that area, the drakes themselves start to growl and move towards you in a menacing manner, giving you a very clear indication that they do not want you here.
I try tossing them an apple.
They don't seem to give a shit about that apple. They do kind of look at it as it rolls by them, but they quickly turn their attention onto you, growling and hissing with some very, very... Even Zig can understand that this is not a friendly greeting.
Yeah. He's not intelligent, but he isn't stupid.
Yeah. Not intelligent, but not stupid. That is correct.
Right. I guess he doesn't go that way.
Okay. So as soon as you kind of back out of that open doorway, they seem to kind of back off and no longer pursue you.
I guess I'll head back to the kitchen. There's no one.
Okay.
No one here. All right.
Gotcha. So yeah, as you head back to the kitchen, they still have some food available, but the dwarf's like, "How much can you eat, you orc?" I fed you over 4 bowls.
He's Scottish.
It's terribly Scottish.
You weren't Scottish a minute ago.
He's whatever he wants to be.
He's given you all he's got.
I've given you everything I got, Captain. Half orc. I don't have any more food to give you.
She's gonna blow.
Just one more bowl.
Lads, is there any more food for this loaf? And they kind of like they scrape out like just the last little bits of this large pot. Is like, and there's some burnt crap at the bottom of it. There's some black specks. There is an unidentified small animal corpse floating in the what's left of it. Who knows what it could possibly be? Zig absolutely does not know. But there's definitely some sort of meat byproduct in this. But yeah, it's definitely not the most appetizing thing. However, I don't know if Zig necessarily cares at this point.
Crush an apple into it.
So just squeeze another apple into it for a little bit of apple juice. So now it's apple meat flavored. It tastes a little bit like ham. Oddly
I love
enough.
the kitchen staff some apples too.
Yeah. All right. So gonna hand out some apples to the kitchen staff. The cook's this may help me. I appreciate you, Sonny.
How many does he want? I'll keep handing him until he stops.
It's like, okay, so after you hand him a good, probably 24 to 48 apples, somewhere around in there, almost half of what you currently have available, he's like, this is enough. I thank ye. I thank you very much. I'm sure the others here will thank you just as much.
And we go back to his table.
Go back to your table and finish off the food that you got. Yeah, so because you were counting 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. Your food is cold, but yeah, you're able to eat your cold porridge with meat flavor and apple flavor, kind of just all mixed together into one concoction. Meanwhile, so while the other 4 of you are kind of in that upper barracks area, where all those bullywugs are hanging out, what do you plan on doing? There's only really that one door that's to the north side.
I planned on introducing myself to the guy that looks like he's got the crock on his face. See if he's the shaman. I heard great stories about a shaman.
Okay, so everybody's asleep, so you're trying to wake him up?
Oh.
No, I didn't think he was asleep.
Yeah, everybody is knocked out right now. You kind of got up a little bit early.
Well, then we'll go look at this door then.
Okay. Are you sneaking or are you just kind of meandering through?
I'll sneak. Because you asked.
I'm just asking the question. Okay. So you're able to kind of slip by all the snoring and ribbiting individuals, but so once you kind of open this door and look in here, the first thing that you really notice is that it's kind of looks like a storage room. There are a bunch of cut reeds and fronds of palms and a lot of the same flooring and bedding that you saw earlier or the night before in the lizard folk longhouses seems to be all stored in here in a dry environment.
So lots of sticks that are dry.
Yeah, sticks, fronds of palm trees, things like that.
Good to note.
It all burns.
We should head back out.
We could signal them from here if you wanted. You can just slip a dagger into that skull, do it over there, and nobody would be the wiser.
Can your frail body handle being attacked by at least 10 bullywogs?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. You're talking.
My frail body will not.
You're talking at least 10 bullywugs, and then at least this if this is the leader indeed, that leader as well, which you don't know his capabilities.
Yeah, we should get out of here and report back to
We found somebody that matches a description of a potential leader because everybody else just looks like frogs with legs.
Yep, pretty much.
So we GTFO.
grab our friends and come back and smash them a frog face. I can dig that.
There's a couple other places that we haven't checked out.
True, and if this is
I
where
mean,
this
not to
guy's-
mention, like, you in the bottom floor, there's still a few rooms you haven't been into, and then in the floor you're on, I mean, obviously there's likely other areas in which you can go upstairs that you have not gone yet.
I've got a half-cocked plan that seems like a legit half-cocked plan. We should
A
GTFO.
legit half-cocked plan, that makes sense.
Total sense. We're all gonna die. But we should
So-
GTFO.
We should go see about this tower to the south. Looks like there might be an entrance where the people were attempting the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes
So-
sense.
Let's roll. I'm in.
Jeeves, bottom floor.
Bottom floor, Jeeves. All right, so yeah, you make your way essentially back downstairs with the group of you, and from here, let me move you where you need to be.
As we're going out those doors on the bottom, I want to see if there's any way that it could potentially be barricaded / locked.
Where's Tick at? Who am I missing? Yeah, I'm missing Tack. Give me 1 second here. Let me get you all where you need to be. And then from there, all right. Tack, there you are. Let's move Tack. Yeah, so as you all make your way kind of down this way, what were you asking again? Sorry.
I want to see if this door in any way could be barricaded, locked, blocked, whatever, which way it opens.
So it opens inward into this room.
Okay. A locking
Um,
mechanism.
there's no lock or anything like that you can see on this door. It's just a standard wooden door with a little bit of mold and rot upon it, but no lock.
Okay, moving on.
All right, so the forge itself, as you kind of move back in this direction, is a little cooler than what it was before. The coals and the wood and whatnot that's within the forge itself is still warm and could probably be stoked back into a full-blown fire after some time. But it's definitely been unattended to overnight.
Cool. I assume this is a door.
Yes, that is a doorway that you can open if you choose to do so.
Let's peek inside.
All right. So as you kind of open up this door, whoops. Oh well, you got to see the other room too. So there are a ton of lizard folk in this room. And when I mean a ton, I mean the entire room is essentially just filled with lizard folk. Some are awake and some are not. And when I mean full of, there's at least 20 sitting in here, either asleep or ready to go to battle.
Do they recognize me if I'm in here from the meeting thing?
Give me. Actually, let me see. Let me see if anybody recognizes you here.
I guess I should say us because I'm just assuming the other ones are still following me around.
So one of them kind of looks at you and seems to recognize you, but you're not sure why.
Well, in Draconic, I'll ask him if he knows about the signal.
He nods and in a simple 2 words just says Blue Owl.
I think I want to give these guys instructions. Since he's the one, because not everybody's awake, right? Some of them
Yeah,
are
some
asleep.
are asleep, some are awake, but they're all, essentially in this room, and there's at least 20 of them.
I want to give these guys instructions. I'll tell this guy he can pass it along. That when the signal goes, they should, handle the rooms to the north that we were just in because they're full of bullywugs.
Okay, so essentially you're telling this group that when the signal goes off, you should go into that northern room that you through the forge and to that room to the north of where you are right now, that tower, and start their attack there.
Yes.
Okay. The one that seems to recognize you nods solemnly with your plan.
So let's see what's in this hole.
So in that room, as you look into this room, there are another 10 lizard folk in this room.
Okay. I'm sure he'll get to all of them. These are our people right now. And I assume these stairs go up.
Yes, those stairs do go up.
Let's
And
go up.
as you kind of walk by, you do see in that other room to the east side of where you are now, you do see a few more lizard folk sleeping in there as well. So it kind of seems like a lot of the lizard folk are sleeping in this particular tower.
Cool. I feel a little safer in here.
All right. So as you walk upwards, and actually, what is so Tick, Zazer, and all of you in Exia, what are you doing right now? Are you following this whole time?
I've been a distance behind them, and I'm choosing to stay at the bottom of the stairs as I watch the brothers go up first.
Okay. With Exia, that makes sense. All right, and with all that going on, our dwarf finally kind of wakes up and doesn't quite know where he needs to go and makes his way towards the other tent in which you spent the evening before, because he's not entirely sure where you all are. Okay, so with that, when you guys walk up the steps,
did Hooter notice Dwarfy moving around since he's on top of? Actually, no, he wouldn't have. Never mind.
Okay. So a lot of them kind of seem to, a lot of the, at least, the lizard folk seem to at least recognize you as not enemies at this point. Whether or not you are 100% on their list of people they can trust, that still remains to be seen. However, as let's see, Tack walks up first, followed by Tick, and then Axia's down here at the bottom. So as the three of you kind of make your way upward, you see this kind of large-ish room, right? So this room again also just has a lot of things that are going on. Let me clear this out a little bit. There's definitely some doors to the north and south. This door itself is yeah. There's a couple of rooms that you could definitely see, at least a couple of doors over to the north side and the west side. But this room itself is pretty much empty.
North door.
Okay.
Peek inside.
So you're just gonna kind of crack it open and look in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you kind of crack open this door, it's just completely empty, the same as the room you just walked in. Now, Zazer, are you following them upstairs, or are you still in this room with all the lizard folk in it?
I'm somewhere towards the bottom of the stairs. I just don't want anything aside from the brothers and Axia to know that I'm stalking the stairs. I'll rush in if need be, but
okay.
I'll stay down
so,
here.
I mean, there's obviously a ton of lizard folk in that room, so they know you're there.
Yeah, I'm just talking about anything that's in the above rooms where the brothers are exploring.
Okay, I gotcha. So you're just hanging out down at the bottom. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, in case you hear any commotion or anything coming from the north or from up top. Gotcha.
Yep,
All right. So, yeah, so that other room is completely empty.
Next.
All right. So as you open up this room, it is pretty much empty as well. And not much of real interest in this particular room, other than a door to the south side here. Or I'm sorry, to the west side.
Okay, let's open that one.
All right, as you open this door, there's another room in here. Now, this one itself, you can see kind of all over everywhere, against the walls and various shelves. There is a lot of armor, weapons, and just hundreds and hundreds of arrows that are just kind of on these different shelves and holders. Most of the metal armor is completely rusted, practically useless. The arrows themselves, from what you can see from this era, are probably also just as bad of shape. But there is a circular stairwell that is leading upward. So there's really not a lot that you can see in this particular place. And yeah, so this room definitely feels warmer than a lot of the other rooms that you've been in this castle. But the room itself is pretty much empty other than those items.
Oh, it makes sense that this one's warmer since it sits above the forge. Up the stairs.
All right. So as you start to walk up this third stairwell, you make your way upward, and from here, you climb your way up this stairwell, and where is this one? Or does that go down? Hold on. Where does this one go?
Initially, I assumed it went back down to the forge.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, that does go back down to the forge. So yeah, that stairwell you can see kind of leads back downward towards the forge. My bad. It does not go up.
Okay, we'll go back down anyway because we're done up here.
Yeah, so that brings you essentially from where you were back down into the forge area, which would be for you. Let me put you where you go. Yeah, but you find your way coming back down essentially into the forge. Tick and Axia, you're following them pretty much the whole way, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So both of you end up and I'm gonna put you in the right spot here. Both of you find your ways coming back downward into this forge area that you've been before, so you've seen this area as well. And all that you really saw up to the top again was just a bunch of rusted armor and things like that, kind of, and warped arrows. Nothing of use for any of you, honestly. And then that's Axia, so let's put you down here with everybody else. So they've spent some time kind of searching around.
Zazer wouldn't know we were in here yet, huh?
No, Zazer has no idea where you are. What has Zazer been doing this whole time? It's been about an hour. So other than the fact that he's ate and gone back for food multiple times.
No, I'm meaning Zazer, not Zig.
I'm sorry, yeah. Zig is eating. Yeah, Zig has zero idea. Nutdruck has zero idea of what's going on. And Zazer is still, Zazer is still on that stairwell going upwards.
As soon as I saw Axia go up the stairs, I kind of just followed her.
Okay, so you followed up the stairs with Axia. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you eventually made your way back and followed all the way around to find yourselves back in the forge, essentially.
Has anyone talked to Zig while he's been in the Great Hall? Or do they just
No, folks have just been kind of coming in, doing their thing, and leaving. Any conversation with the Zig has been kind of a, how's the weather? You know, you obviously are new here, you haven't seen you before. Nothing of real substance.
Well, that's a good job, because he would have told them everything.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's absolutely probably true. But yeah, nothing of major consequence at all during this time frame. And I think with that, we are now coming up on 11:30. I think we're going to end it right here as you guys continue to explore the castle. You are essentially about an hour into morning, so just after sunrise, maybe 8 in the morning, something like that. The castle is starting to really start to wake up. You have a signal in place for the lizard folk to know when to attack, and now you're just kind of getting a lay of the land to kind of understand who's here and what's going on. So a lot got accomplished tonight. I think you all did a great job. Zig is still eating. Nutdruck has zero idea what the hell is going on, other than he's hungry still. And the rest of you did quite a bit of exploring, so I think we're going to end it here and continue on next week, as long as everything goes as smoothly. But I want to thank everybody you that have been watching very much for your time and attention.
The eye rests. It has shown you all This is not a time for sorrow, but a time for joy. When one chapter ends, another must always begin. Ponder upon the lessons you have just witnessed, and heed its wisdom. Apply it to your lives. Go forth, be well, and do good towards the others that enter your story. Let your chapter and their book